Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today you join me as I'm on my way to go and pick up a 2009 Audi A6 that I've bought for just £800. I'm yet to see it, so I thought I'd bring you guys along with me so that you can have a look at what £800 buys you here in the UK. I don't know an awful lot about it yet, but my colleague informed me that the previous owner has a place in France, so they use that car to do that journey in several times a year. So I'm expecting quite high mileage. He did tell me the figure, but I've forgotten now, but it was definitely Buzz Aldrin territory. And I've only got one key, so not a great start. I've never been a big fan of this era of A6. Compared to the E-Class, which was quite elegant, or the BMW 5 Series of this era that was much more sporty, the A6 was just a little bit nondescript. I could never work out why anyone would buy one over a 5 Series, or an E-Class, or a Jaguar XF even. I suppose though, depending which engine you go for, they can be quite frugal and quite reliable. Anyway, let's go and have a look, shall we? Well, we're here, and it looks... well, I'll show you in a second. It looks alright. I know the reg now, so we can do a vehicle history check. Not bad for £800, is it? DE59GVG, right. Now for this, I always use a company called Car Vertical. They seem to be the most thorough. So if you go to their website, carvertical.com, and enter either the VIN number or the reg number, you type in the reg, so DE59 Golf Victor Golf, and get the report. Like I say, this seems to be the most in-depth. It tells you everything about it, whether it's had a mileage, the mileage rolled back, or whether it's been in an accident, or there's outstanding finance, or it's ever been stolen. It tells you, it's basically like the car's biography. It's like the automotive equivalent of Michael Aspel. It's all clear so far. It's an Audi A6e, which I think is the eco-friendly version. I think it's this lower horsepower. 134 horsepower, 2-litre diesel. TDI-E in silver, obviously. Never been in any accidents, not stolen. It was last MOT'd at 179,000 miles. So yeah, 180 on the clock. And it's done about 10,000 miles a year. Yeah, before that it'd done 15,000 miles a year. Right, okay. There's nothing too worrying there then so far. It was MOT'd on the 30th of October last year, so it's got a long MOT. A clean MOT too, there are no advisory items. That's unusual. Right, let's go and have a look then, shall we? Let's park like a true BMW owner, straddle both bays. Right, well, it does look quite tidy. It's got the tiniest wheels I've ever seen. Looks like it's had a little bit of paint on the front end there. It's got its original Worcester Audi plates. This is the facelift version, I think, isn't it? Quite tidy. A couple of little scratches. I would say this has had paint down that side. It just looks a little bit flat. Ah, of course, it's the facelifted model, this. So it's got the LED rear lights. It's got an odd rear plate, which is always strange. Rear parking sensors. No privacy. That's not bad, actually. That tyre's got about 5mm of tread on it. Yeah, it has had paint. You can see where it's starting to crack. Slightly rusty wheel arch, but nothing too horrendous. Full leather interior. Quite clean, really. Full leather interior, yep. Oh, it's got sat nav too. Let's have a look under the bonnet then. The front tyres are on the limiter. There's about 3mm left on that one. I expect the same on this side. Yep. And yeah, the back's the same as the other rear, so about 5mm. That's not bad then. Does the gas strut work? It does. Well, it's very dirty. Let's look at the colour of this oil. I mean, it's black because it's a high mileage diesel, but it's not horrendous, it's not sludgy. Coolant looks alright, looks fresh. No obvious leaks. Not too bad actually. The old mayonnaise test, nothing there. They are quite reliable engines, these, when maintained anyway. Let's fire her up then. So it has done 185,000 miles. It's due a service. Exclamation mark, obviously it's a German car. Achtung! Radio station is set to all FM, so nothing too hideous there. Yeah, sat nav. It's always weird with these this era of A6 how you get into the glove compartment. The fact the lights, the switch is there rather than actually on it. So MOT there, and a load of bills. I'm told it had full service history, so you need to look through that really. Locking wheel nuts in there. Could do with looking to see if it's had a cam belt change. Figured out how to work the armrest there. But it's in quite good condition. No sunroof, but it's all quite clean. To say it's done 185,000 miles, there's not excessive wear on the steering wheel or on the seat or anything. So I can believe that it's mainly motorway miles down to France. What else can I show you? Well, should we take it for a drive actually? See how the clutch is. I was expecting then when I depressed the clutch a rattle from a dual mass flywheel, but there isn't any, so that's good. Right, electronic handbrake off. Well, there's a clutch in it, that's a good sign. The steering's very light. Felt quite solid then over the bump, so suspension must be okay. Well, so far this drives like any other Volkswagen Audi group car I've ever driven. Solid, but a little bit boring. Well, it pulls well for 136 horsepower or whatever it was. Feels like I'm sat up really high after coming out of that 6 Series. Feels very bright as well because the windows are much bigger than the 6 Series. Well, I've got no warning lights whatsoever, only a service now. No engine lights, no flashing glow plug lights, nothing like that. We've got automatic headlights, heated wing mirrors, 4 electric windows. There are no heated seats. What on earth? Who spec'd a leather interior with no heated seats? What sort of cheapskate? Only one cup holder, so this isn't looking like a car that I'm going to keep for myself, is it? One cup holder and no heated seats. Couldn't cope with that, I'm afraid. Well, joking apart, I'm quite impressed with this. Drives very well. What I might do now is go and take it for a quick wash and see what it's like underneath the motorway grime. In fact, I could do with your opinion on this. I never know what to do with part exchanges like this because 185,000 miles and it's 12, 13 years old. It's not really fit for the forecourt, but there's still plenty of life left in it. Long MOT, full service history. Yes, it's due a service and a couple of front tyres perhaps, but what do you do with it? If I sell it off the forecourt, people will expect 3-month warranty, free delivery, they'll want to come and pay with the credit card and things like that, which you just can't do on a car like this. Because if the turbo fails in 2 months' time or 6 months' time, it can't really be down to me to put right. And yet if I knew somebody that wanted a cheap car, this would be ideal. It changes gear nicely, it pulls nicely, clutch works fine. I think with a quick clean, this car will be transformed, you know. You might think £800 is cheap for this car, which it is, to be fair. This had a trade price of around £1,200 with a suggested retail of around £2,600, £2,700. My colleague asked the customer what they wanted for it. They said around £1,000. But I'm guessing the fact that it's due a service and 2 of the tyres are on the legal limit was his reason behind the price chip. But I still think if I were to spend £200 or £300 on this, so it owed me 11, I still think this looks like a £2,000 car all day. Anyway, let's go and get it washed, and I'll try and make up my mind once it's clean. Right, so after the last time we spoke, I took it to the local car wash, got it all washed off, got it vacuumed up, and it cleaned up really well. You can definitely see that it's had paint on the near side because there's some grazing around the top, which makes me think that the previous owner was quite handy in the old DIY department. It doesn't look like a professional job, but it's, for this kind of thing, it's okay. I think it's acceptable. Because it cleaned up so well, on Monday morning I took it to my local workshop and had it serviced. Now I thought, if they absolutely condemn it, then I'll just have to forget about it and move on. But they didn't. In fact, well, they got it up on the ramp, there were no leaks. They said it was a really tidy example. So I had a full service done, 2 new tyres, full service, so oil change, oil filter, fuel filter, air filter, pollen filter. Even the air conditioning works, which is unbelievable for a car like this. So I've spent, let me just get my bill up. So the full service cost me £234, plus the 2 tyres, they cost me £60 each. So 120 plus 234, that's 354. So £354 plus the £800 that I gave for it, plus £12 for a mini valet to save me getting my hands dirty. The grand total is £1,166. And now it's had a full service, long MOT, and a clean bill of health. What I think I'll do, because this car's better than scrap, is stick at my website cheap, part exchange to clear, and, you know, somebody might be looking for a cheap car. So, well, that was quite an eventful couple of days, wasn't it? Thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll leave the link below. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them below. I'll do my best to get back to you. So yeah, cheers guys. I'll see you next time.